Hey everyone, Joe here. Well, today I want to talk about some lighting stands and budget boom arms. Now, in my last video, I talked about clamshell lighting, and I didn't really talk about the stands I was using. So I thought I'd go over that a little bit to kind of help anybody, understand about some lighting stands in case they're getting into flash photography and don't really have any yet and wonder what's on the market and what can I expect from them. So let's hop in here and get started. Okay, the first one I have here is a 6-foot lighting stand. Now this is your basic budget run-of-the-line lighting stand. These normally go for about $2 for $25, and they're fairly okay. Now there's not the first thing I'd run and grab if I really need a lighting stand, but this is actually the type that I'm using for my video lighting. So if you're on kind of continuous lighting, like a little LED panel and stuff that you want to budget stuff, these are perfectly fine, although I would always put a sandbag at the base of these. Like this particular sandbag here. Just kind of throw it over to kind of keep the weight down, because if any kind of wind, these will fall over. I know from experience, because I've caught the lighting stands that I use for my videos, I've knocked them over a few times, had to catch them in midair. So luckily I've never broke them, but I've come close a few times. Now these, you don't want to put a lot of weight on these. If you run like a little light bulb and stuff, maybe an umbrella or maybe even just a speed light, these are fine for that. But I would not put any kind of lighting modifiers like these or anything, maybe at most, maybe just umbrellas. Anything more than that, you're really pushing it for these because they're really not geared for that. Now, we're not geared, just built. Now they say 6-foot stands, that's about 6 foot. Yeah. I'd be very careful because there's not that much metal in the pipe here. It could bend over. I honestly think these are pretty much safe to about 5 foot like right here. They're fairly decent at that height. But that's about how as I'd want to go with these. Like I said, I'd still use some sandbags if anything questionable. But anyway, that's 6-foot stands, or should we say just 5-foot stands. Now the other lighting stand I've got over here is a 9-foot stand. As you can see, it's already much bigger, much thicker, heavier duty. And like I said, this is the one I use. This particular 9-foot stand I actually used to hold a 5-foot octabox. No problems whatsoever. But like anything heavy, sandbag it. Any questions? Any doubts? Sandbag it, okay? Anyway, this is another budget one. These come in different types. Like I said, this one I actually go all the way to the ceiling here. Yeah, it hit my ceiling. I have a 7-foot ceiling, so I don't go that high. Now, just like the 6-foot stands that really shouldn't use at 6 foot, these are 9-foot stands you really should not use at 9 foot. I think these are fairly safe under most circumstances up to 7 feet. So that's about as high as I'd want to go with them. But the thing is about these, they're pipe's thicker, got more metal to them, thicker, wider base, so they can hold a wider lighting modifier. Now these are the ones I like a lot. These will run about 25 bucks each. This is a regular spring-loaded one, so if you loosen it, it drops. They have some that are air cushion, what they call air shock. So if you happen to be a numbnuts and just open it and let your lighting modifier drop, it actually won't drop, it'll slowly go down. So they do have some that are more expensive, about 50, 60 bucks, that are more idiot proof. So if you're not an idiot, you can save money and buy this type like I'm using. Now, like I said, pretty decent. I like these because they got a wider base, aluminum, still easy, don't need much. You can pick it up with one finger. And they seem to hold really good. This is the ones I use on all my other lighting modifiers like these, my beauty dish and stuff when I'm holding them up. Now, boom arms. Haven't talked anything about boom arms. In that last video, the clamshell actually had the 2 umbrella softboxes held by that 6-foot stand and this stand right here, this 9-foot stand, with 2 boom arms. Now, I got one of the boom arms here. The other one, as you'll go in the corner of my video, is still on my beauty dish. Now, this is one of them. This is a newer 5-foot boom arm. I really do like these. Metal. Anyway, I got a review coming out on this on Saturday, so I'm not going to talk about how much I really like it to Saturday. But this is what I'm using. These actually got clamps on it to hold reflectors if you really needed to. So if you're looking for a reflector one that has, they also hold a lighting modifier at the end, this is a good one to go with. Now these normally have these little cheap budget boom knuckles, whatever you want to call them, clamps. They're not the best in the world, although they're not horrible. For what you pay for these things, under 10 bucks each, it's actually pretty decent for the money. When people use these, people won't be worried about these breaking or whatnot. I don't see no issue with these breaking, but always be careful. Now, this particular boom arm does come with a sandbag like this and a little hook that you want to put there. Now, obviously, you see it picks it up. So when you put something on the end of this, you need to make sure that it's balanced the same amount of weight on both sides. That way, even if you loosen this, it stays even. So if you put it up that way, it stays. If you lean it back, it stays. This is not actually holding any tension. This is just kind of help you kind of put it in the direction you want and tighten it down. But it's not made to actually hold any pressure, if you understand what I'm getting at here. So you adjust this. You can run these things out to like 5 feet if you really wanted to. If I adjust the right one here. Oh, there you go. So if you wanted to run that thing out 5 foot, put a lighting modifier on the end of it, you can. Just make sure you balance this in a way, and then you may have to pull this pipe back to keep it balanced out. That way you get the same amount of weight over here as you do there. That way you don't have to worry about this slipping. And that's the whole key. Make sure it doesn't slip. But that's the little newer budget 5 foot arm. Like I said, I got a gear review coming out Saturday. But this is what I used on that lighting setup. I had that stand with one of them and this stand with the other. And that way they kind of hold out and hold the lighting modifier. I really like these because it gets my lighting modifiers out over the top of my model's head without actually being in the camera's way, which is always really important. But anyway, this and some budget ones. They have really expensive ones on the market, but for the average person, it's not going to use the really expensive ones because they're just built for studio use. They're too big for in-house and stuff, like C-Sands and stuff. They got some really good stuff out there, but it's made for really expensive stuff. These are fine for most people shooting indoors, speed lights and stuff, or even small like Alien Bees style, flash units. They're perfectly fine. But if you're going to start putting in kind of $2,000, $2,500, or any kind of heavy, big pro photo type units on the end of these that are quite heavy, but ought to be careful. You might ought to spend that money and spend a couple $100 on a C-stand with a lot of sandbags and a lot more heavier duty stainless steel type, clamps and knuckles and stuff to kind of hold your lighting modifiers up. But that's for expensive studios and stuff, not your average home studio. Just be careful with these. You don't want anything to kind of ever fall and hit your models or clients in the head, because that can lead to lawsuits, and that always hampers your budget. But anyway, that's it for this little photo tip. I thought I'd throw these out there, talk about these stands in case nobody's really knows much about them. Kind of might be surfing Amazon, wondering which one should I actually get. Go for the bigger one. The 9-footers are always the great ones to start with. Anything else is just too small, really, unless you just happen to need something smaller. But anyway, that's it for this video, everyone. If you like this video and like these items, actually, check out my description below. I will link everything in the description below. And like I said, if you like this video, how about giving me a thumbs up? Thumbs up's always highly appreciated. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, be sure to subscribe. Subscribe is free, it's for you, and lets you know when I release more videos. Until next time, everyone, thank you for watching.